5 strangers, outsiders some may say, walked through a veil into the lands of mists and horror. There they learned the plight of a man by the name of Ismark, and I, his sister, who was pursued by a vampire by the name of Count Strahd. The darkness and fear following that name has long been sown into the lands of Barovia. I could hear my name on the winds as he tormented us from outside of our house for weeks. Twice already his fangs have marked me, nightmare after nightmare, and eventually our own father's heart gave out. Time was of the essence. So the outsiders fled the village of Barovia, all the way to Vallaki, and I with them.
Some say this land has a mind of its own, ways to trick and torment the soul, whispering dark thoughts in the mind. Some say it would drive any sane lad to his wit's end. Some would be right. On our way to Vallaki, we encountered wonders both strange and terrible. First, the Vistona, a spirited group of gypsies wearing vibrant colours, unique customs, and guile. They had songs that would take us to places we'd never been. That night, they guided us to their fortune-teller, Madame Ava. We learned of a great fate that we would be undertaking, that eventually we would find and slay the devil Strahd. A tall task for our small mission, and one we didn't think too highly of. Second, were the hags at the old bone grinder, a sick scheme selling kidnapped children as meat pies and other ghastly horrors. We made quick work of the establishment, then burned it to the ground. One of the hags, however, had escaped, but that night, Ireena was bitten for a third time.
For what we had endured, Vallaki felt like a welcoming escape, but it was nothing compared to the war that had already been waged upon us. The celebrations and merriments fell to despair when we were delivered the news of Ismark's gruesome demise. Ireena was never the same after that night. A sinister suggestion began creeping into her mind. We knew the woman didn't have long until Strahd's curse consumed her soul. We met allies and we met enemies in those walls, but our best bet was to keep our promises and find another way. Vallaki was quick to run us out, and we were quickly running out of options.
Kresik stood out as a fortress, and by the skin of our teeth did we make it to the estranged abbey of St. Markovia. Rifts started to form, and tensions rose among us. Trust was a fragile thing. For me, I was finally united with my fiancé that had been nearly lost to this land, but at a terrible price. For another, they were parting ways with Ireena to be helped by this place. Yet, to some, hope still remained, as the Taroko cards Madame Eva had shown us had indicated the holy artifact housed here was one of the keys to fighting Strahd. The realization that we should stand against the Count became a reality more so every day, but our hearts also had plans of our own, and we were far from ready.
There was an errand we were sent on to pay for our entry to Kresk. It involved the one thing Barovians have to feel happy in this miserable place: wine. On the way, a new friend turned up for us, another omen the cards had foretold. With the help of the lane Vistani, Ezmerelda, we rained hell upon the infiltrators holed up in the Wizards of the Wine. Amidst the battle of plant blights and maddened werewolves, we learned of the nefarious Babalai saga and her coven of witches. One more name to add to our hit list, one more guilt on our conscience.
It was easy to see it in their faces. With so many paths to follow, how do you choose which one is the right one? So we sat down and we had a little chat. There were 2 half-elves. One of them, her name was Nyla. She wanted her fiancé to come back from the brink of a death curse. The other, Chance. He was fighting for a woman. They say her name is Ireena. The elf Zhana, she's the soft type. She wants to cleanse the lands of this darkness. Among them, a fallen Aasimar, Hildegard. Seems her place was to guide the lost in some greater purpose. The last is Yogg. Believe you me, I wouldn't get between that half-orc and his prey if I valued my life.
We followed the tracks of a druid, hoping it would take us to Babala Saga, to put an end to this once and for all. What awaited us there was far worse than what we could ever imagine. Count Strahd. He was waiting for us, with an entire tribe of druids performing a ritual that we only barely stopped. He left us with an invitation to his castle, and our trail of La Saga had gone completely cold as the first snow that started to fall that night. With victory on our hands, we now face the true demon on Yester Hill, an enormous tree blight that calls itself the Mother Tree.